Hey all, Pixel here. We're gonna finish up with the back of the wagon here. So after the last video, I went in and sprayed everything with the phosphoric acid to, clean up the surface rust. Underneath, I just went in with a wire brush at all the rust I could reach, sprayed all that, sprayed the whole underside of this, just again tried to treat it a bit, and honestly it did okay. Like, it got rid of a lot of it. This was all just solid surface rust before, so I'm happy with that. I think once I finish the repairs, a coat of Master Series over all of this, and it should be pretty stable. It's actually a week after the other episode, because the day after the other episode I came out with COVID again, so lost an entire week to that. But I'm testing clear today, feeling better, and getting back in this. So we're just gonna, I'm just gonna cut out stuff, weld in new, finish this up so that I can get some paint on it and call it done. Alright, we're finally done. And that was a mess because this metal is paper thin. I just kept blowing through constantly. Like, you can see where the patch is and how far I chased to blow out over here, or how long I chased to blow out over here. This was a disaster. Like, this one wasn't even supposed to be a patch. It was supposed to be a fill-in with weld, but I just blew it out so much I had to cut a hole and patch it. Same thing over here. That, I decided not to cut the metal away and lay the patch on top because I'd been having so many problems, and I still chased blowouts anyway. So it's done, but yeah, this car is rotten. So I'm going to vacuum this out and give it a quick once over, maybe I think with some mineral spirits or Prepsol or something, and then paint this all with Master Series, same thing on the underneath. I may actually do that tomorrow because I'm feeling a little winded, but at least I can call this done, and I'm going to finish the damn job this time, so I'm not just leaving it half done. Last night I went in and did the Master Series through here. That's had a chance to dry. It's supposed to rain tonight, so I'm going to give it a coat of black, same on the underside, and then at that point I'll decide whether or not I'm truck bed lining it, but that'll at least get it sealed up. For the underside, it obviously looks a hell of a lot better under here, and I also sort of did wherever else in here that I could reach, just on the theory of, hey, it can't hurt. And there we are. Everything is now black. I just literally burned through this entire can. Just tried to get sort of everything up in here that I had gotten Master Series on with the black. This is going to dry for an hour, a couple of hours, and then probably going to come back in with truck bed liner, assuming I have a full can of it. Probably should have bought that while I was out. And here we are with it all truck bed lined. Oof, stinks in here. Yeah, everything got a good thorough coating of truck bed liner, inside and out. This drain hole, the piece has been missing forever, so I'm going to do what I had done before, which is just stick a piece of Dynamat type stuff over it to seal it up. But this is all nice and taken care of and pretty well sealed now. Once this is fully dried, like in a day or two, I'm going to go into these holes here and the ones on the other side and just spray a F-ton of cavity wax, as well as probably all these, just to give that area a better chance of not rotting further. Underneath, same basic thing, coat of truck bed liner, also truck bed lined all up in these areas and stuff. Same idea of just trying to give it its best chance. I have to either go to the junkyard and find a vehicle that has them and raid them out of it, or order new bolts for the seat belts, because the ones that came out of it are in such bad shape I literally won't be able to get them back in again without doing damage. So I'm going to reassemble everything except the seat belts while I locate those, because it's not like anybody's going to be sitting back here in the near future, so it doesn't matter if the seat belts aren't installed. But that'll let me otherwise check this job off as complete. Hey all, Pixel here, working on the wagon some more. Just getting some of the stuff done that I was going to do before I found that whole disaster with the rot and everything. And one of them is, let's see if I can get the camera to show it with, darn. The headliner is all coming down real bad. And I'm not going to redo the whole headliner. I'm not even going to pull it out of the car because it's kind of fragile. But what I'm going to try and do is remove the trim pieces so I can get at the other underside of this. And then I have some headliner adhesive. I'm going to do my best to spray it in there and then basically stick it back up again. I don't know how well this is going to work, but it's better than just letting it dangle and keep falling. So give it a shot. All right, so, God, it stinks, but I sprayed headliner adhesive up in there as best I can. I couldn't get it up on the top and the far back, which really sucks, but it's heavy enough that it wouldn't spray up. It would only fall down back there, but I got it as thoroughly in here as I could. And as soon as this tacks off, I'm going to very carefully push this all up into place. I actually, ironically, had to peel this front lip edge because this part was still stuck on fine, so that I could have access in there to try and get that glue in there. My goal is not perfection. My goal is to get enough of this stuck up that it stops pulling down on the rest of the headliner and making it droop. So I think I'm going to make one last shot, because I can see a spot now that I got a better light that I kind of missed, and then try and get it back up. And there it is. It's not perfect, but it's way better. Little tiny wrinkle there. This area is a little odd. There's a little wrinkling here. This corner came out really funky. Actually had to add a little more glue in here, and I'm not entirely sure it was dry enough when I stuck it up. But it's a massive improvement. I mean, it was drooped out to here and across to here, so having a few little wrinkles and stuff, still way better. So that's call that a good fix. I also stuck an LED bulb in here while I was back here, so I can check the headliner off my list, I think. And now we're in the front seat, because this light, I want to put an LED bulb in it, but also it's having a problem with a grounding issue on it, where it would, if you jiggled it, it would work and not work. So I think I'm going to pull these screws out, pull it out, see if I can clean up a ground, maybe if I have to add a ground or something. Let's see what I can do to get this to work more consistently before I put a new bulb in it. Alright, so pulled this out. This and this are the power wires. They're in little plastic connectors that are clipped into the ceiling, and then the screw goes into them, which is a really weird way to do it. And then this one is the ground. The edge of this hole has got some scorching, I think probably because it wasn't grounding super well, and that caused a little arcing, and now there's soot there, which doesn't help it ground anymore. So I'm going to clean up this around here, and I may see if I can find a tiny washer that fits that screw to try and hold it more solidly there, and then hopefully that'll allow it to ground better and solve my problem. Alright, so I cleaned this with a wire brush. There was a ridge on here of some sort of gunk that I cleaned off. Cleaned them, brushed them both, and then went over them with some brake clean. And I don't think I even need the washer. I think now that it doesn't have that gunk on there, it should sit well enough to make a good solid connection. So I'm going to pop this back up in there. Yeah, it's no longer turning it off and on when you jiggle it. So I think we're going to call this one fixed too. Put a bulb in it. Probably blind myself. Oh, yep. Turn the lens. This lens is actually slightly warped from the heat of the bulb in the past. And there we go. That light now works. Another thing off the list. I just pulled this thingy off from under the dash over there, and yeah, this is all gross and nasty. And it's all sorts of weird, some sort of weird, almost cardboardy stuff. But this section here is more like jute matting, and it can't seem to decide whether it's a rigid thing or a soft thing, but it looks like hell with this all hanging off regardless. I'm going to keep this off for now because it looks perfectly fine up here. I think this is intended as a little bit of extra sound deadening, but like sound deadening around not much of anything, so I don't think it's worth putting it back up. I'm going to throw it in the top of the garage, up in the garage. So I decide at some point to recover it, put it back, I can. But honestly, it actually looks like there's more footroom under here with it gone, because it's not sticking down into the footwell. So I took this, I was realizing I took this piece off the bottom of the dash to get myself access to the fuse box, and I left it off in case of electrical problems. The thing was, I left it off in 2017, and I haven't had any significant electrical problem that needed a fuse since. So I think I need to put it back on. The problem is, I don't think I have the screws anymore. So I think this may be another time job because I have to figure out what hardware holds this up. Alright, the rest of this video was filmed a couple weeks ago, and then I've been having a bunch of car problems, so I haven't gotten back to this vehicle to do the detailing. That was the whole original step, but at this point I want to get this video out, so we're going to call it there. I am going to get back to the wagon. I am going to actually detail the interior, but right now there's a couple more pressing things going on, so that's going to have to be backburnered yet again. But we're going to have to say that this is it for now, so I will talk to you all later. Thank you all for watching. Bye.